What if I told you the deadliest war of our time isn't in Ukraine, not in Gaza, not even in Afghanistan? It's in a country many people couldn't even find on a map. A country so rich in natural resources it should be one of the wealthiest places on Earth. But instead, it's been at war for decades, and barely anyone talks about it. This is the war in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and it might be the most ignored war in the world. The numbers are hard to comprehend. Over 6 million people dead, millions more displaced. Generations growing up in chaos. Entire villages wiped off the map. All while the world watches in silence. So why is this happening? Why does no one care? And more importantly, why does this war never end? Let's go back to the root. The Democratic Republic of Congo, or DRC, is the second largest country in Africa. It sits on a literal treasure chest of resources: gold, diamonds, tin, tungsten, cobalt, coltan, minerals essential for everything from your smartphone to your electric car. The world needs what Congo has, but this wealth hasn't brought prosperity to its people. It has brought them suffering. In the late 1800s, Congo was brutally colonized by Belgium under King Leopold II, who personally claimed the territory as his own. What followed was one of the most violent colonial regimes in history. Millions of Congolese died under forced labor and cruelty, all to extract rubber and ivory. Even after Congo gained independence in 1960, it remained unstable. The CIA helped overthrow its first elected leader, Patrice Lumumba. Mobutu Sese Seko took power and ruled for over 3 decades. A dictator backed by the West, who looted the country while the people suffered. But the real turning point came in the mid-1990s, after the Rwandan Genocide. As the Rwandan government collapsed and Hutu extremists fled across the border, they brought chaos with them. Rwanda, determined to eliminate the threat, invaded Congo in 1996 with support from Uganda. They backed a rebel named Laurent Kabila, who overthrew Mobutu and became president. But within 2 years, the alliance collapsed. Kabila turned on Rwanda and Uganda, and in 1998, the Second Congo War broke out. Also known as Africa's World War, it drew in 9 African nations and dozens of armed groups. By the time a peace deal was signed in 2003, millions were dead. But even after the peace deal, the war never truly ended. It simply splintered into dozens of smaller, ongoing conflicts, mostly in eastern Congo. That's where the minerals are. That's where the foreign interests are. And that's where the militias operate with near total impunity. These armed groups, some backed by neighboring countries, control mines, villages, and smuggling routes. They use child soldiers. They commit atrocities. They enslave civilians in forced labor. And the minerals they extract? They enter global supply chains. That coltan might end up in your phone. That cobalt might be in your electric car. That gold might be in someone's wedding ring. The irony is bitter. While the world races toward a green future, Congo bleeds. The Congolese government is weak, often corrupt, and has little control over much of its eastern territory. The United Nations has had peacekeeping troops in the country for over 2 decades, but even they have been accused of abuse. Meanwhile, companies in neighboring countries profit from the chaos. So why does this war never end? Because it's profitable. Conflict is a business. A war economy thrives in Congo. For the warlords, for the smugglers, even for some politicians. The longer it goes on, the more money there is to be made. Peace doesn't pay. And why don't we hear about it? Because it's not on the front page. It's not on your evening news. There are no terrorist attacks, no ideological crusades, no threats to the West. It's slow, it's complex, and it's inconvenient. So it's ignored. But silence is complicity. Right now, in 2024, the conflict continues. The M23 rebel group is active again, allegedly supported by Rwanda. Villages are being attacked, children are being killed or conscripted, and millions are still living in fear, in refugee camps, in displacement. This isn't just a Congolese problem. This is a global problem. When the world turns a blind eye to suffering because it's not trending, we all lose a piece of our humanity. But it doesn't have to stay this way. What can be done? We can push for ethical sourcing of minerals. We can demand companies trace their supply chains. We can pressure governments to end complicity with war economies. We can support journalism that shines a light where others won't. And we can raise our voices to say, Congo matters. Because if we truly believe that every life has equal value, then 6 million forgotten lives must matter too. You've just heard the story of the world's most ignored war. Don't let this be just another video you scroll past. Subscribe to GeoPulse Daily, where we uncover the truth behind the silence, where we tell the stories others won't, and where your curiosity becomes power.